welcome to SVG-TV's news for Thursday, August the 15th, 2019. I am Bhavin Olve with the details. The Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, has made it clear that there was no findings by the bank of fraud or corruption in declaring misprocurement of the Yarubaka River Defense Project here in SVG. The president of the CDB, Dr. Warren Smith, and his team recently held a meeting here with Finance Minister Camilo Gonzalez and other government officials to address the issue and other matters. A statement by the bank yesterday noted that the CDB had originally granted a no objection to the award of the contract under the project, based on the bid evaluation report prepared by an independent consultants. It said misprocurement was subsequently declared by the bank as the procurement process was determined on review to not be in accordance with the CDB's procurement guidelines. The statement further noted that the CDB is no party to contracts awarded under the project. However, for a major contract, the bank will provide a no objection to key procurement documents. It was also noted that in a statement that the CDB president lauded SVG's Public Procurement Act, which he said has one of the most robust legislative frameworks in the Caribbean. The CDB president also highlighted the strong partnership the bank has with SVG since it commenced its operations almost 50 years ago, and reiterated the bank's determination to continue working collaboratively with the government to realize its desire for a better future for the people of SVG. Meanwhile, opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday has maintained that their position that there is something amiss with the CDB declaring misprocurement of the Yarubaka River Defense Project. Dr. Friday told SVG-TV News that there is nothing new in the CDB's latest statement on the matter, which came on the heels of their meeting with Finance Minister Camilo Gonzalez.
That there is no corruption and no fraud. The fraud that we talked about here was the misrepresentation that was made to the CDB. And obviously that was the case, because why would the CDB change its mind after it did its own investigation? What we said in our press conference is that the contract was denied because of misprocurement. So the funding arrangement with the CDB was cancelled. And so the question was, the CDB had gone ahead in the first place in financing the project, and the project had started. So on what basis did they do so? Obviously, there had to have been some misrepresentation made to the CDB so that they had approved the funding to go forward. And so when the CDB did its own investigation, it found that the criteria it had set out had not been met.
Dr. Friday said there are still too many unanswered questions and reiterated his call for a full investigation to be carried out in the matter by an independent body.
Made a call for four things to happen. One was that there be a full investigation so we can know exactly what happened, because it's very embarrassing for the country, and it is also very costly, because now the government is hell-bent on going ahead with the contractor, but the funds have to come from somewhere, and they have to come to Parliament to get those funds allocated, which means that they'll be taken from something. So it's costly for the country, and we still don't know, why was the misrepresentation made to the CDB? What was the nature of the misrepresentation that was made that allowed them to go ahead and allow the funding? And what is the role of the company, the independent company that was hired to do the assessment of the tenders? What exactly did they represent to the government to allow them to go ahead and award a contract to reliable construction company?
Growth is important to the continued development of any economy, and representatives from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit, the OECS Commission, as well as local stakeholders came together today for a consultation discussing issues which affect growth in member states. The first Growth and Resilience Forum was held in 2017, attended by a wide cross-section of stakeholders, and provided a unique opportunity for civil and social partners to have dialogue with the ECB on issues of growth. Speaking at today's consultation, Advisor of Strategic Planning and Projects of the ECCB, Daniel Arthurson, said given the vulnerability of small island states to natural occurrences which can negatively impact a country's gross domestic product, close attention must be paid to human resource, infrastructure, and resilience.
Kind of environment that, one, we are vulnerable on one hand, and we have to build resilience. And since we no longer get concessionary aid because they say we are in a bracket, we are middle-income countries and we no longer qualify for aid, we have to rely only on ourselves to survive. We have to go back to the roots. So with these things in mind, I think it is important that we bring it to the fore, we discuss them. We understand the importance of this from a national level. It's about national development. It's about putting things in place in harmony with our national plans, with all of the strategic partners for the benefit of all Vincentians, people from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it is in that particular frame that I come to you today.
Highlighting the success of the first consultation held in St. Kitts in 2017, Atherton said there are many institutions across the region which focus on the growth, and as such, there is a need for coordinated activities between these agencies.
Sport, you have CARICOM Development Fund, you have the OECS Growth and Development Strategy, you have the EDFs, whether it's 10th or 11th, you have Compete Caribbean, you have Caribbean Growth Forum, and I'm sure ad nauseum you notice that we have had several of these things. And what we're saying is that there needs to be some convergence, because within this framework we have regional initiatives, regional CARICOM-wide, like CARICOM Development Fund and Compete Caribbean. We have regional initiatives, OECS-wide, like the OECS Growth and Development Strategy. We have national initiatives, which is medium-term or long-term growth and development strategies. And then we have, since we have these different things, we must find some way that we're not coming to the same people, asking them the same questions all the time. We must find some way that within the country, that there is a place where, you know, there is some synthesis.
As the St. Vincent Girls High School continues its streak of being a top performer at the Caribbean Examinations Council Secondary Education Certificate Examinations, Principal Michelle Beache said though the school recorded a 9% decrease in general math this year, she is elated by the 100% pass rate recorded in 15 subject areas. These subjects include English A, Physics, Food and Nutrition, History, and Principles of Accounts. According to the GHS principal, the other subject pass rate was between 86.9% and 99.9%. Beache said that the decline in the mathematics pass rate this year was expected as students complained of it being difficult.
92.69% for ADMAT from 75% last year, and there was a decrease in math, the general math, from 99.9% last year to 90.14%. Of course, the students did complain that this year's math was difficult.
A total of 180 students from the Girls High School sat the CSEC examinations this year, which included 44 from Form 4, who also sat mathematics. Beache, however, noted that the majority of the students were in the science stream this year, and the results were outstanding.
Our science subjects were all in the 90s except for physics, which was 100% fully. We did have to grapple with not having teachers in the specific science areas, but I am very pleased that they would have still performed very well, nevertheless. And I have to add that in theater arts, our theater arts teacher would have gone overseas to study, and we brought in somebody who had retired, so I have to thank that teacher, that is Miss Gloria Williams, for working with our girls throughout this year and being very successful, because theater arts was also at 100% this year.
Commenting on the 3 top performers in the country emerging from the Girls High School, the proud principal said the 3 have been A students throughout their secondary schooling, and she does not expect any less from them.
They were always very good students, in fact, excellent students. So it really was no surprise that they would have done so very well. Lanier, Brown, Adia Holder, and Swania Batiste. They have always been, and they're all from the same class, 5 Science.
The girls' high school had an overall pass rate of 96.9%, a slight decrease from last year. In a few weeks' time, hundreds of the nation's children will be heading back to school. And one organization here has done its part to ease the burden on some parents in getting their children prepared for the new school year. Over 60 children are the recipients of backpacks and stationary school supplies from a donation by Island-Wide Fitness Gym. Speaking at a ceremony at the community college, owner of the Island-Wide Fitness Gym, Keon Constance, said he is happy to assist children who are the nation's future. Constance said he understands how difficult it is for parents to adequately provide school supplies for their children and is delighted to assist in this area. Constance challenged the recipients to work hard to achieve their success.
To the recipients of these backpack packages, we wish you only excellence in the school coming years. We trust that you will show the same hard work and determination exhibited by this committee member to ensuring that you receive a backpack package. That you too will work hard and achieve excellence in school. Knowing that you have received a jump start for this September in receiving the necessity items. This includes a book bag, a lunch bag, pens, sharpeners, erasers, exercise books. We would really like to thank our committee members, Tishon Kane, Geraldine Charles, Lauret Constance, DeLong Constance, Donette Calise, for helping and coming on board to making this event successful.
Most students are expected to receive their backpacks from the gym during the first week of the new school year. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, in collaboration with the SVG Police Credit Union and SVG Ex-Police Association, awarded 53 scholarships and 12 bursaries to successful CPEA students at an award ceremony held at the police canteen. The award ceremony was held under the theme, Forging Ahead with a Lift That You Soar. Speaking at the award ceremony, Deputy Commissioner of Police Frankie Joseph congratulated all the students who passed the CPEA and participant in this year's scholarships and bursaries from the agencies under the umbrella of the RSVG Police Force. DCP Joseph said that while the primary mission of the RSVG Police Force is to ensure national security by preventing and detecting crimes, the organization has an equal responsibility to ensure that the youth are given the opportunity to reach their fullest potential.
One of the tangible ways in which the police force is achieving its mission and this responsibility is by providing scholarships and other financial assistance to children of police officers and others geared towards a brighter future, educationally and holistically. The Police Scholarship Fund is arguably the oldest and one of the largest scholarship programs in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our scholarship program began in 1958, some 61 years ago, by the late Chief of Police, Colonel Sidney Anderson. The scholarship fund was set up primarily for the benefit of children of police officers, past and present, who have successfully passed the then common entrance examination, and now it is CPEA. However, with its thrust to build a better relationship with the community and the general public at large, the program was modified.
The Deputy Police Commissioner said the Police Scholarship Fund is one of the most successful managed programs which fall directly under the Commissioner of Police.
Police officer pays an amount of 240 EC dollars on an annual basis into the fund. And it is monies from this fund that has made it possible for us to be holding this very important ceremony here today. Recognizing and rewarding our nation's future generation and leaders. Please allow me to give an idea of what the Police Scholarship entails. 1. Payment of transportation allowance in the sum of $64, and this is paid at the beginning of each school term. 2. Purchasing of all textbooks for both secondary and tertiary, inclusive of a Bible and other school supplies, because we have to take care of your spiritual needs. 3. Payment of all school fees, including activity fee, computer lab fee, examination fee.
DCP Joseph encouraged the parents of the scholarships and bursary recipients to continue to guide their children on the right path. He also encouraged the awardees to take the scholarship seriously and handle items given by them with care. A new book will be added to the prison's library, which the inmates are encouraged to read and learn from. 15 of the books, entitled Use Me, Do Not Abuse Me, was purchased by the General Employees Cooperative Credit Union GECU and donated to the prisons, which were handed over today to Superintendent of Prisons Brenton Charles.
This would go some significant ways in helping our inmates in the rehabilitation efforts and so forth. You know, I know if you listened to the radio yesterday, we got some publicity, and much of it was very negative. We're hoping that as they read these books and as we attempt in the varying rehabilitative efforts, that our inmates would get on board, take advantage of what is being offered, and as they leave the prison, that the rest of society can do their biddings as well, and to take them back, you know, help them to reintegrate successfully and so forth, and do meaningful things in their lives.
The author of the book, Curita D, has been given talks to prisoners and said that her book addresses some of the challenges and issues they face. She is hopeful that by reading the book, it can motivate the inmates to become better citizens.
This book not only talks about, like I said, you know, physical and emotional abuse, but it talks about all kinds of abuse. And as I was talking to the prisoners as well, which is even more interesting, as I was talking to the prisoners, many of them have expressed that they thought it was just timely, that it really made them think. Because a lot of times when we go in and we talk to prisoners, we give them a plate of what we feel is palatable. Just regular stuff that we think that will help with the rehabilitation, not realizing that this book is of a spiritual nature, and as a man thinketh, so is he. So we have to change their mindset, their thought set, and go into their minds and let's see. Just the other day when I was at the prison, one of the guys was talking. We were talking about going back and where they started. And a lot of them were, you could actually see it in their, you know, going through their minds, that they were thinking, wow, you know, yes, I remember when I was 5. I remember when I was 7 and my mother kicked me out. I remember when I was 10 and my father left. So those are the kinds of abuse situations that where this all started, and that's where we're starting with this book.
Senior Marketing Officer of GECU, Danielle Francis, pointed out that the benefits of reading and said the credit union is pleased to partner with the prison service to provide the reading materials to the inmates.
Really help the prison in terms of their rehabilitative efforts for all the inmates, females and males, and we really hope that a book like this, Use Me, Don't Abuse Me, will really speak to the better nature of inmates, as Mr. Charles said, who are in for offenses of abuse. Let them understand the role that they have in society and about empowering themselves so that they can come back into society and really make a better contribution to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.